Shane Roche. Oh, you make it sound so posh. Shane Roche. My wife likes it's Roach, but my wife doesn't like it being pronounced Roach, so she says Roche. Well, before that, I was Shane Skywalker. Don't get me started about that one. And then for a while I was called Shane Ryan, after my cousin Ryan. And then I kind of fell out with my dad a bit when I was 15 or 16, it might have been. And then I went to work in Spain as a compere when I was 17 in a hotel in Torremolinos where I was DJing, holiday rep, and I first started doing stand-up comedy out there, doing sketch shows for an international audience. And on the poster it said Shane Roche, and one of the guys in Spanish, one of the crew out there, had mispronounced and they heard Roche, and instead of the R-O they put the R-I. And it went Shane Richie. And at the time, Lionel Richie had gone solo from the Commodores, I think, around about then. And someone went, that's a great name. I went, what, Shane Richie? Richie. And so and then I got introduced on stage, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. And I think I was, for a while, I was a Neil Diamond tribute act when I was 17, come on singing, Sweet Caroline, as well as being an outwork actor. And someone said, okay, here, please welcome on stage, Shane Richie. What? It's Roach, Richie, Roche. And it kind of stuck there, and then the contract come in and it said Richie on it, and I went, no, my name, oh, well, forget it. And it kind of, and I was rebelling against my dad as well, so I kind of stuck with Richie. Confused the hell out of the tax man as well. Wow, well, Alfie's not too far removed from who I am. Alfie was created by Tony Jordan, who created the Slaters, the Mitchells, and basically, if you ever meet Tony Jordan, he created Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes. You'd swear you thought that is Alfie Moon. I mean, even down to the boots, the shirts and the leather coat. When I met Tony, he said, I've got this great idea for a character. I went, go on. He said, basically he just wanted to put himself in the show. And he created this character based on him and his wife Tracy, who's lovely, now become friends of my family. And if you meet Tracy, she's like, there's something cat about. Well, certainly their relationship was very much Cat and Alfie. And so it was like kind of loosely based on Tony Jordan. It was a bit of Artful Dodger in there. I remember being friends with Jack Wilde, sadly before he passed away. I'm a big fan of Tommy Steele. There was a bit of that in there. I'd like to say Marlon Brando, but I'd be no such thing. And it was kind of like the Del Boy thing. I know when Tony Jordan created, he wanted to create a family like the Trotters. So with the Moon family, he had Nana Moon, Alfie Moon and Spencer Moon, and we kind of, it was like based on the Trotters. So it was a bit of Del Boy, a bit of me obviously in there. So it wasn't a sort of far stretch, but Sammy Valentino, who's just so different. That was Darren. He said he created the character, the writer, producer, director of Benidorm. He said, I've got this idea for a character, I think Shane would like to do it. And we sat down with him, and it was just a light paper. We said, there's this guy that was big in the 80s, he was a comic, he's had a big fall from grace. I'm not sure about his sexuality, his camp, is he gay, it was kind of irrelevant, but he had this sadness about him that the business had moved on and left him behind. And in my close to 40-year career, I've met performers, whether they're actors, singers, dancers, or comedians, that have just held on to something and the business has moved on. And you know, and I've always said, you never give up on the business gives up on you. So you've kind of always got to keep an eye out of how things are changing. And with Sammy Valentino, things changed around him. And he didn't see it. And so there's a bit of sweetness I love about playing Sammy Valentino. And when I did the last series, I did series 10, where I had wonderful 4 episodes I did with John Chalice. All right, so Sammy talks like this, all right, Richie, we're going out for a drink tonight. So he was like Boise. And I loved putting the wig on. And I remember saying to Darren, I said, we need people to know that it's a wig. You know what I mean? So occasionally I do this thing like, just move it like that. And that does his own makeup. And that we see his life. And hopefully there might be talk maybe next year, who knows? I know Darren may be keen to look at the history of Sammy Valentino and to see his fall from grace in a documentary style thing, which we may talk about. It's just finding the time because Darren's so busy doing Benidorm the stage show and he's got a BBC thing. So, but no, they're 2 very different characters that both have their traits and their faults, which I love tapping into. Oh, in Panto, let me tell you something now. We do have references to EastEnders in the Panto because it'd be a cheat not to. So there's plenty of moments where we have the duff-duffs come in the Panto. And I've not introduced Sammy Valentino yet into the Panto, but who knows? Every show's different. And I may just slip him in. You know, Sammy Valentino sings The Greatest Showman. Oh! All of the above, my love. All of the above. It gets romantic. And funny enough, there's a big audience participation. If you saw it last year, we used the audience very much in setting up the show. Mm-hmm. He's a romantic lead, he's a lovable rogue, he's a bit of a loser, he's a bit of a winner. He's all of the above. It's different every show. And I've been fortunate enough to have the same cast around me for the last several years. We've got a few additions this year. Gina Murray, who's just been on tour with Hairspray, who's done Chicago, she's done great shows. She's going to be playing the spirit of the forest. So she's got some great comedy chops. I'm rewriting some comedy stuff, me and her. But the great part about doing this, and in a big space like the Milton Keynes Theatre, I've been here, I love the space here. But not just front of house, but backstage as well. It's great. Community feel backstage. But just having the cast in the wings going, oh God, what's he doing now? He's gone. He's in the audience. He's gone missing. And I love that feel about the show. They don't cope with it. I've just seen him in the wing. I thought I was going to get the train home tonight. I've missed that. He's off. Look, we've gone from Robin Hood, now he's doing Aladdin. Why is he referencing Peter Pan? What's going on? And that's what I love about the show. This time we're going to be, not yet, but I mean, we're working on something, a tip of hat to The Greatest Showman. So there'll be something we're doing in the show there. And yeah, there's a sword fight in the show that we're up in the ante with, and just making it a bit more bang. It's very physical, the show for me. I mean, I've got injuries now, which I still carry from 3 years ago from the Panto. Sword fighting, just wrestling people, fighting. A lot of fighting, kids. If you like fighting, you're going to love this. It's like Fortnite on stage. Wow. I was a bit deep in it. Failure, I mean, the older I'm getting now, the less, I don't mean care less, the less I worry about failure and the more chances I kind of taking, and the more kind of criticism, for 40 years I've been told I'm brilliant, I'm rubbish. For an example, when I first went into EastEnders in 2001, there was a great thing in the tabloid press that said, if there's a reason not to pay your TV licence, here's your reason, Shane Richie's going into EastEnders. And I've still got that one pinned up on the paper. So I'm reminded constantly about how, I'm constantly, it's an uphill battle. I don't know if it's because I'm constantly trying to do different things. I try and avoid being pigeonholed, and not out of choice half the time, it's out of necessity. I've got bills to pay, so if at the time, the jobs are drying up as an actor, I've got a wonderful manager that says, listen, there's a game show if you fancy doing it, and I know I can do them, so I'll do them, and sometimes that can shut doors. But I've learnt now I've got a family to look after. I'm the sole responsibility to my wife and 5 kids, and even though my 2 older boys have grown up and flown the nest, just the other day, punched his lights out. He said, Dad, I need some money because my wages haven't gone through, and he's nearly 30, so I'm still looking after him. So yeah, I'm frightened of failure, not professionally, so, almost letting my family down. I'm a real family. I have a big family, in-laws, sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws. And also, people pay a lot of money to come and see shows, live theatre, and it's not always a cheap day out. So I want to make sure that when they come and see the show, they come away talking about it and going, that was the best night out for a long time. And I think it's people like me, the fortunate position I'm in, that's my responsibility, and I take that on board, and I think it's important I remember that.
We've never seen one before.
Oh, it's a melting pot of drama, circus, Shakespeare, Dickens, stand-up, free-falling. It's everything you love. If you love theatre, whether it's, you know, Chekhov or whether it's Hairspray, it sits in the middle of everything. You know, I've got some wonderful Shakespearean actors on stage with me that, you know, that have come from, you know, the RSC, or they've been doing some great work abroad, touring with wonderful heavy shows, and they come and, you know, let their hair down, and having them actors around me, there was a fly there, letting their hair around me and watching them flourish and let them just free fall. So if you've never seen a panto before, funny enough, I've got friends that come over from America that came for the first time 3 years ago. Now they make a trip, a pilgrimage to try, they come out whatever part of the country I'm in to come and see the show. And if you're not a fan of theatre, I think after you've been to see a panto, I think you'll want to come back. It's a great theatrical experience. And it's nothing like you'll ever see again. You know. It will happen on the 19th of December, here. That's all I'm saying. On the 19th. No, funny enough, we do it's great shopping here in Milton Keynes. I love it. Because we're bang smack amongst all the stores and all that, so I'll be looking for freebies. Yeah, no, I literally will be doing my Christmas shopping here. I think when do we open? On the 8th. So I've got a bit of while to do my shopping. I'll be here doing my shopping. Oh, well, what am I collecting at the moment? I'm a big toy collector. I collect toys, old 70s, 60s, and 70s toys. And how about this? What I've just bought right now? I've just bought a new Lilo because we've got my house in Spain. I split between here and Spain, and we've got a pool there. I'm not showing off it, but it is a big pool. And I've just bought this Lilo, and it cost me a few quid. And it's a massive Lilo. And it's got a table on it, right, with cup holders. It's got a canopy. It's got a Bluetooth thing where a speaker comes in. Where's this conversation going? What was the question again? It's about.
What would you like to see under the Christmas tree?
Yeah, another one of those. Another Lilo. Oh. I fancy doing another musical. I got asked this year to do a musical, a tour, which funny enough is doing the rounds. I've been asked to do a couple of shows. And it wasn't something I fancied, but there's something that may be happening next year. There's certainly a play that I want to do next year without giving too much away. Because, you know, it's that whole thing. If I mention it, it doesn't happen, I end up looking stupid. But the same old rubbish that I do. And by the January the 2nd, I'm doing it all over again. Mind you, I made the resolution last year to do less work this year, and that went out the window. As soon as the album, which thankfully the album went to #1, the country album, so then I was doing gigs with a band, and I said I was going to take time off this year, but I ended up doing a new show for Channel 5. I've done a thing of voiceover. I've got another TV show that I'm recording. I said I wasn't going to do Panto for a while and take it off, but then Milton Keynes said, "Come on, bring Robin Hood to us." Okay, Milton Keynes, do it. I love you. And then I'll do 3 weeks. Do 5. All right, I'll do 5 weeks for you. So much for taking this year off. But my New Year's resolution will be again, just take time off. But I've got bills to pay. The Greatest Show.